This morning, the news has been that Sir Stirling Moss sadly passed away overnight, and I've got a little story. I mean, yeah, I've been in the motoring fraternity, in that. I always see the motorsport family as a family. It's very much a family, and when I'm at shows and events, I'm with my motorsport family, as well as my mum and dad, my wife. They're with me. It's often the people that you meet along the way that make that job. This is my job, and painting with these is very much what I do from March onwards, March through to November, and I do obviously commissions and creative order and do other things. However, obviously with the news this morning of Sir Stirling, I was very fortunate enough to meet him. This is back into so I've been doing this since 2008. Really going to start doing events. And randomly, I was approached by Sir Stirling's then agent. He wanted to represent me, and he said, "We'll arrange a meeting with Stirling. We'll arrange a meeting. You can meet him and discuss what images you would like to do, because obviously Stirling had a very prolific career. He did F1. He was in F1 racing. He's done that's the early days, so kind of early F1, kind of 1950s. He actually won the British Grand Prix in 1955. That same year, though, he also raced in the Mille Miglia, which is the 1,000-mile race across Italy. At that time, it was open roads, so there was very much race cars on the roads. Obviously, it wouldn't happen now. The closest you probably have now is the stages between WRC, where they have the stage, and in between the stages, they go on the open roads to get the car to the next stage. So it's probably, but this was a 1,000-mile race. Quickest person to get there wins the race, and he won that in 1955 in Italy. So I in 2010, me and my dad went to meet Stirling at his house in London. You wouldn't know it, but there was just like a race car on the outside, so it was definitely his house. So nervously, I went with my portfolio and some of the artworks that I had at that time to go meet. And so one of the artworks I had at that time was the DBR1 that I created at Race Retro. That was a Race Retro image of that year. This image then later went on to be used on Top Gear on their art special. But this artwork I created, which is Stirling in the 59 Aston Martin. So I went to his house with some of the artwork I had then. So I'd done some portraits. I'd done Lord Montague down at Bewley. I did a portrait of he was then Lord March, but at Goodwood. So I took some artworks down to show him some prints. Very nervously, kind of packed it in the portfolio and went into the house. And I remember walking into the house with my dad, and we walked into the house and went up the stairs because there was a lift in the house as well. Went up the stairs, and there's a grand piano, and his wife Susie was there as well, and so she was like, "We'd like a cup of tea, we'd like something to drink." Absolutely, loves to have that. And I remember I went to go sit down, and my wife would say this: I'm a bit of a blunderer at times, and I'll just end up. I was like, "Oh, there's a seat there," and Susie was like, "No, that's Stirling's seat. You can't sit there." I was like, "Oh, I'm very sorry." So obviously I'm like, I'm nervous anyway, but then I'm all fingers and thumbs. Like, oh my god, I'm just. But also around the room, there's like some of these trophies that have got like pots out of them and plants out of them. So he actually made me feel very much at ease, because he was then he met from memory, he made the tea. The tea was made, and we actually I went to put the tea cup down on the table, without a coat, and then Stirling was like, no. So we then put there's some ashtrays, and the ashtrays, and we use the ashtrays as cup holders. to make sure we didn't damage the table. So this meeting went really well to start off with, but yeah, so it was like, okay, right, and then relax and get everything down. So I think my dad was to the right. I think his then agent was to the right of me. Dad was to the left of me. Anyway, we were kind of sat in a circle around the table, and he started to look through it. But his stories were just amazing, and just talking about his race career and what he did, because he raced a number of different things. It wasn't just F1. It was endurance. It was the Mille Miglia, and yeah. So I did him in the W196. That was done at Silverstone in 2010. I think that one. No, that was Goodwood. That was a Goodwood image. So that was another one I did of his. But the one image I remember him absolutely talking about, and what was his favourite image, was him in the 722 Mercedes that he raced in Mille Miglia, which was the race across Italy, which he won in '55. And you see a lot of these images, which is like the press images, the pristine, beautiful car of it being, now, this is obviously Stirling late, driving it and it being driven. But one I know for a fact, and this is it, Goodwood, this is a Jacob Ebery image of it out going up the hill at Goodwood, or coming back down the hill at Goodwood at least. But I know this is one of his favourite images, because this is an absolute full pelt going through Italy. At the Mille Miglia. And also what happened, it actually cut a corner and had completely trashed the front end of it, and he loved that I remember talking about how he cut the corner, he just clipped it, he didn't see the rock, and the rock had so the beautiful kind of curvy front end of what the Mercedes is here was actually a crumpled kind of crumpled mess. And you can just see over the steering wheel trying to see what was going on. So and this was meant to be an artwork. This was meant to be something that I was to draw as part of with his agent. We talked about the idea of having artwork done and create a number of the cars. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, it didn't happen. It didn't happen in the end. So I thought today I'd start the drawings by doing. I mean, I love this image. I love this kind of crumpled one. But I think in terms of literally, this is popped up my feed first thing this morning on Facebook. So it is a Practical Classics, off their Facebook. So I don't know who took that original photo. So please, if anybody knows who took that image, that would be very much appreciated. I'm going to base the first drawing. I think it's really right to do that car, because I've always felt it's a car that I never did or never got round to doing as an artwork. So I thought I'd start this morning with doing that, and obviously we should go out to Stirling's immediate family, and it's obviously I want to celebrate his racing career, and that memory. That I have, which at that time was two years into my career. So I did not know that 10 years on I'd still be doing, being able to do motorsport and motorsport artwork. So I want to do this. So I'm just going to crack on, otherwise I'm going to cry. It's a continuous line. So once the penny's down, I do the basic outline, and then I create the car, and it's generally done in kind of 25 minutes, half an hour, and I think the Mercedes 722 will make a lovely looking artwork. So and that's to start kind of the motorsport theme for Sunday. That's what I thought I'd do. So. So, continuous lines. Let's get that window in and so doing some research this morning. To be honest, I haven't read all the all the facts about Stirling. But he was a runner-up in F1 4 times and third 3 times, I believe. So it's a long old car. So it's going to look a bit squished because of the proportions of the notebook and the car. So it's not going to look exact, but I'll do my best. It's going to look a little bit squished, but we can always go back and tweak it. Okay, so I want to make sure it's as close to as possible. So who have we got joining in this morning in Taz? Who's online?
Okay, so we have Esther, Mechanical World 5, Charlotte Phelps, and
so we're going to do Charlotte's car as well. She works for Mercedes-Benz Formula 1 team, race strategist, but she also does a like kind of time attack track stuff, uphill climbs. So that's one of the ones to do today.
Lucian Wisniewski says, I too met Stirling and his wife, lovely people, so genuine. Morgan Motor is joined.
Oh, welcome on board.
Matt Cooper FR.
Matt's a lovely boy. Lovely man, Matt. He's helped me many times at shows and events.
And he says hiya.
Morning, mate. Morgan, we should do one of your Aero GT3 maybe. That'd be cool.
Curtis Ward, O2. And Chris Watts.
Morning, Chris. Met Chris. He's a manager of a supermarket, and I did some of a rally car image in Banbury Sainsbury's.
Cool. Your memory is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we have Steve Wilson. Before you said it, he said, are you going to do a 722 drawing?
Yeah.
Mark Etheridge says morning. Laura's on. Simon's on. As in Laura Pocock. Simon Cook. Mark Etheridge says hello.
How we doing? That's Mark, as in Bike Mark.
Kevin, that would be good actually. Thanks.
What's that?
He says, do you want me to get this video online today if I can?
Yes, please, mate, yeah.
That would be good.
Right, so... And then... because McLaren Mercedes then did the 722 SLR as a kind of a tribute to this car as well. And a client of mine has got like the most bob-on replica of the 59 Aston Martin as well. He's had a couple of artworks done. Breeds falcons. That's what he does.
He what, sorry?
He breeds falcons for the
Okay.
for the Byroyal family. Right, so
I thought I heard that.
So to start, 722, only right to do this car this morning. So bit of a motorsport themed Sunday, but continuous line, all done in 5 minutes. Should be done by 1:15-ish. I say, never drawn this car. It was meant to be an artwork at one point. So it's only right to.
Tracy Nicholson says morning.
Morning.
Richard said, it was a cold winter's day when we met Sir Stirling. You were told to move your scarf off his armchair.
That was it.
Probably a wet scarf.
Yeah.
Okay. You have XXF1644 from Saudi Arabia.
Cool. So just getting the basic images in, the basic colouring in. So
Esther says, another true great joins the grid in the sky.
True.
Did I say Tracy Nicholson says morning?
I think so, but morning again.
Simon says morning, happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Simon. Hope you're well.
Happy Easter to you too, sorry.
Yeah. Hope you're eating lots of eggs. So, as I say, continuous line to start with, then I start filling it in, blocking it in. Generally about 25 minutes, half an hour, generally gets the image there. Sometimes race cars take a little bit longer because of branding. That's the same as what happens with artworks as well. So, this is number 130, 131. But I'll label it 722. So. Kind of skinny race tyres on it. I think this is in the Mercedes Museum in Stuttgart. I think I saw it there. Let me do an artsy photo of it, reflection. If you've not been to the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Stuttgart, it's very good. Worth a visit when you can travel again. One of the ideas we've got is we'll have some more details out of this later, is doing the book. So all the images will go into a book that are produced in this time, in this unique time. There's a government scheme, a council-backed scheme, particularly in Coventry for 2021, of initiatives that involve community. I see this as a motorsports car community. So if you have a project, you can pitch it in and receive some funding. So the idea is to do a crowd-funded book that all the images created that go in order go in. And we'll hopefully have some more details about that later, a little bit later on. Just getting the details in of the tyres.
Jay Bruce says, wow. Richard says, well, everyone talks about Sarah Stirling's GP racing. It's the Mille that he talked about. 93 mph. Average speed, if I remember.
It's over 100, wasn't it?
Kevin says 99 mph on open roads. In the process of inventing pace notes. Then he sent a message says, don't say this out loud. So I'm not going to say it out loud. And Simon Cook says, 3 Easter egg hunts completed. And a roast in the oven.
Awesome.
Sounds good, man. We got chocolate in the house.
We've got chocolate. Woo woo. I know my dad's trying to go through the files at home to try and find out if we have that image, because it was an image that Stirling gave us when we met. So we're trying to find that image, because it's not an image that is Jen has been published. But I'll do this one as a drawing. So you can watch back videos on the PopBangColour YouTube channel as well. It's PopBangColour. Just search that on YouTube. You'll find the channel and see the videos that are up there already, or soon to be up there. Are they up there? Are they soon to be up there?
Soon to be.
Soon to be up there. Right, let's add. Let's get the numbers in there and a bit of white highlight.
Dashing Blade has just joined.
Morning, Dashing.
And he says, ooh, what are we looking at, sir?
It's the 722, Mercedes 722 driven by Sir Stirling Moss, who passed away this morning. Known for being an F1 driver, but actually the Mille Miglia and winning it in '55 was one of the things that when I met him, that was what we talked about mostly, was the what his achievement as in the Miglia Miglia, and I was meant to create it as an artwork. That was one of the plans, but it never came to fruition. So I thought I'd draw it this morning after hearing the news. Add that in there as well. A bit of green, just a bit of green and a bit of blue, just to enhance the silver. Get the 722 down the side. I say, because of the paper and the, yeah, you kind of got to make it a stockier car because of the, but that kind of gives it the character as well. That should be finished very soon. choices there. There as well. I'm just going to get that flag behind him as well. So, I love crane old cars are so much fun. There's so much character in them. I'll upload a photo of this when it's done. Numbering on there, 722. That's what makes this car.
Daniel Harris says, looks amazing.
Thank you.
Dashing Blade says, absolutely beautiful. Sad to hear about Sir Stirling. What a legend.
Absolutely.
And Alicia Hall Photography says, so amazing.
Well, I'm just happy to do it. I felt it was the right thing to do this morning. After looking at doing some motorsport stuff today, it's the right one to do at this time.
Kevin says, distracted by imminent delivery. My goodness, that's looking good. He says, my goodness, that's looking good.
Thank you, Kev. Very
And
sweet.
James Parrott says, you're getting quite good at these now.
Cheers, mate. It's a tractor that made it. Personally, that was the peak.
That was your learning curve.
That was the one I learned from. If I could do a tractor, I can do.
Then he says, happy Easter.
Cheers, buddy. Hope you and your family are well. Right, let's get the numbering in there. Right, and so I'm going to number this one 722. It's number 131, but 722.
Dashing says, why do you prefer classic wood?
They're just like curvy cars, just more like got character. They're fun. They're fun to do. Curvy or boxy. Just classic cars are just cool. You can add a bit more into them.
Personality.
Bit of personality. There's the badge on the front. And I think we're pretty much there. Just wanted to do this one to start off the day, share it with you all. And that is the Stirling Moss 722 Mila Niglia, 1955. I'll make sure, yeah, 1950. I'll just put that underneath here as well. And that's the Mercedes. Right. There we are. I hope you can all see that. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. See you in a bit.
Daniel Harris's looks amazing.